Following the fresh impeachment threat issued by the Rivers State Assembly against the Rivers State Governor Siminilayi Fubara, the People's Democratic Party have responded, saying the Assembly lacks the legitimacy to execute their threat. The lawmakers had earlier said it will not hesitate to impeach the state governor Siminilayi Fubara if it becomes the last resort to uphold the Constitution. Now recall that 27 lawmakers had to be loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom, have been at loggerheads with Fubara since October last year, and the Emodi-led assembly that attempted to impeach the governor.
Well, meanwhile, the PDP, in a statement signed by its publicity secretary, Sydney Tambari-Gbara, asked the lawmakers to stop disturbing the peace of the state and allow the courts to determine their legitimacy, adding that the lawmakers should address their legitimate question in light of Section 109 of the Constitution of Nigeria's 1999, as amended following their defections from the PDP to All Progressives Congress. Well, joining us now is Collins Ordu, former member of Rivers State House of Assembly. Mr. Collins, we look forward to have this conversation with you, and it's a delight to have you join us this morning. But first, we will be going for a short break, and when we do return, we'll go straight into this conversation. So do well to stay with us. Welcome back from the break. Now joining us is Collins Ordu, former member of Rivers State House of Assembly, to discuss the conversation that we had right before the break. We're looking at the impeachment of the now sitting governor, Governor Siminilayi Fubara, which actually is in motion. But then again, the PDP has reacted that they do not have the right to indeed impeach the governor. Welcome to the program, Mr. Ordu.
Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning. All right, let's start off this conversation very quickly. Let's take a look at the impeachment notice. It seems like it's a season of impeachment, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We did see one take place in Ordu State, which, of course, the sitting would begin tomorrow, which is Wednesday, April the 3rd. That's got to do with the deputy governor. This time, we're also looking at Rivers State, where the governor himself is actually in the focus. What's your take on this?
Yeah. Good morning once again, Nigerians and viewers. I would like to first of all correct one thing. There hasn't been any impeachment notice for now. What the Rivers State House of Assembly did was to outline all the issues that the governor has been failing to fulfill. They had an 8-man truce, and they have done theirs. Until this moment, the governor has rather employed attack dogs to be attacking both the Honorable Minister of the FCT and the House of Assembly, rather than going into what he legitimately signed, what he responsibly signed. We expect some level of integrity for him to completely adhere to what he has signed. You all know that the president intervened, and there was a roadmap for them to achieve peace. The other side of the House of Assembly had done all their part, but the governor, instead of doing that, had employed watchdogs in the name of Elders Forum, these and that. The reason why I'm saying this is because there was a time when the case instituted by the elders was struck out, and there was no legal impediment. That period, the governor would have used that window to execute the remaining part of the truce, but he rather decided not to do it. So, like I said, there hasn't been any impeachment notice yet, but they have rather stated the areas where they think that the governor is insincere in the peace process, and therefore warned that they will soon commence.
Okay. All right. Now it's clear, and thanks for setting the agenda very smoothly in line with some of the news flash that we've seen in different quarters. Impeachment notice, not yet, 8-man committee set up. But you did mention in your speech that there are some, I can't recall the words you used now, but you alluded to them as dogs in case. Who are these ones that you've said have been set up to indeed follow up what the governor is, or the governor set up to indeed follow up what's going on? Who are these people that you're talking about?
Yeah, I want to state that most of those who you hear from time to time make comments about this peace settlement, they try to aggravate it. So those are the people I'm referring to. We all have decided to remain peaceful in order to bring back peace to Rivers State. But you see them from time to time, they come and make statements that will make the other party to get angry. So those are the people I'm referring to.
Okay. Talk to us about what your standpoint is regarding the statement about the lawmakers not even having the power to be able to determine to be able to impeach the governor because the case of their legality is one that is yet to be determined.
There's no atom of illegality in their stay in the House of Assembly. You see, first and foremost, the 27 lawmakers form quorum. So as they have formed quorum, I don't think that there existed any speaker from any angle because one, you must be elected to be a speaker. You can't be an impostor. The law does not recognize what had happened in the past. The law recognizes what is. And what is that their seats were never declared vacant. They moved from our party, the PDP, to the APC, stating various reasons. And these issues are subject to litigations right now. And it's sub judice for anybody to begin to allude to any allegation that they are this, they are that. As far as the law is concerned, these boys have done nothing. They are within the ambits of the law. Their operations are legal, and we're in support of them.
When you say we are in support of them, who is the we you refer to? Just so
Rivers people, the Rivers people are in support. We voted them in, and they are there. But except for those attack dogs, like I mentioned, every now and then they are sponsored to be on the radio, to be wherever they are. You see, the point is this: I want to advise the governor to please desist from these things. There's a difference between the law and noisemakers. The law would definitely take its course. So no matter what anybody says, you cannot go to the House of Assembly there to go and obstruct them from carrying out their duties. I expect that as the governor is saddled with the responsibility of ruling the state, that he will decide within himself to have a peaceful reign. And this peace is even in his interest. Because who is the driver of this state? Who is the driver on the seat? He is the one. He should be the one to begin to look for peace. But here we are. Today, one man is talking and they talk from all sides of their mouth.
Can you clarify to us what exactly, what agreement the governor has not kept up to? You've talked about how the lawmakers have kept up to their side of the agreement, but that the governor hasn't kept up to his side of the agreement.
At least I can remember one that is very, very important. You see, I can't remember the point, but I can't remember the number on the point. But it's that the one that has to do with the governor going to present the budget. I used the word present. I didn't say represent because he has never presented it. I used the word present the budget for approval, ratification, and for him to sign into law and begin to execute.
But the instances where, I mean, it was obvious. Take, for instance, in the Vanguard newspaper of December 16, 2023, it was made mention that the Rivers Fubara represented budget to the full House. So there's this case of he did not present the budget, he presented the budget. A case of, okay, there was a quorum, there are certain lawmakers who were not available, so the budget would not pass, and so on and so forth. It seems that there is something that we would like you to clarify to us this morning that the Rivers State Assembly is holding on so closely to, and the governor himself is not yielding. What is that thing? We would like to know. What is that thing that is indeed leading to these back and forth conversations and fight? Would you like to share to us?
Oh, very well, very well. I think that's where the problem is. You see, like I told you, the purported presentation of the budget before, as a former member of the River State House, as a former lawmaker, for you to be a speaker, you must first remove the current speaker and then be voted by 2/3 majority. You just don't come and claim to be a speaker. Right Honorable Ordu here, I call him Right Honorable because he was former deputy speaker, he was never a speaker, went to the court to ask that he be declared speaker. And that order that was given to him, a part of the order, I want people to read it. A part of the order says, all that you have told us, if we turn out to find out that those things are lies, you will be liable to 40 million naira levy or charge if you lied to us. And obviously he lied to them. And based on that, the judge granted him that order, which he used. Assuming the president did not intervene, by now, Edison should be heading to jail.
All right.
For lying on oath.
Hold on.
So
hold on to that.
What I'm saying is that he was never a speaker, and therefore the governor couldn't have presented a budget to him, knowing fully well that.
Mr. Ordu, hold on to that thought. We need to go on a very quick break. When we come back, you pick up from where you left off. Welcome back to Breakfast Central. We're still looking at the drama going on in Rivers State regarding the alleged plan by the members of the assembly to impeach the sitting governor Siminilayi Fubara, even though, yes, no impeachment notice has been served. We're talking about the details, the intricacies. And joining us to analyze this is Mr. Collins Ordu. Good morning again, and thank you very much for staying tuned. Before we went on the break, you were talking about, you were giving some key points as to, what went wrong. And I would like you to pick up from there. You talked about how a certain person was never the speaker.
Yes, I said he was never a speaker because I was the former member of the River State House of Assembly, and I know that before a speaker is removed and another one comes up, he will be impeached or he will resign, and then a 2/3 majority will vote the other person in. Edison here had only 3 persons that were supporting him and couldn't have been a speaker. So he imposed himself and went to the court to get an order. Like I said, the order issued to him stated that if we discover that what you have told us is a lie, that you'll be liable to 40 million naira. And by now, assuming the president did not intervene, he should have been heading to jail by now because he lied on oath. So that is where I said the governor didn't need to present a budget to only 4 men. And as at the time when he presented that budget, the 4 men did not form quorum because, assuming, let's assume and not concede to the fact that Edison declared their seat vacant. But for him to sit before declaring their seat vacant, he must form quorum. So therefore, that whole activity was a nullity. Let's say here, the sitting, the passing of budget, and everything did not form quorum, and so it was a nullity.
So that makes us wonder, how is the governor currently now running the state? Because if the budget has not been passed, I mean, how is he running the state? There are also indications that some of the lawmakers are saying he's running the state on a budget that's not made known to the members and so on and so forth. And then my second question, most importantly to you, is, Mr. Ordu, is it because of the speaker that has led to the fight between the governor and the FCT minister, or is there more? Because, I mean, we're in the eye of the public. Are we going to say that it's just a little rift We've also heard from the FCT minister where he said he had, purchased forms for everybody, including the current governor. So he's expecting something back. We're asking because we think there should be possibly more. It can't lead to a fight with the assembly if there's nothing more. So you just gave us one instance, the speaker. Is there more?
Yeah, first and foremost, let me clear it out that I am even wondering, like you are wondering, how the governor is running the state. Recall that I initially said that he is saddled with the responsibility of managing the state now. And from all indications, any matured man would decide to stomach everything and have a peaceful government. That is what leadership is all about. You don't, because one man said this, or the other man said that, you put your house in disarray. It means that you're not fit enough to be in that position. Then on the other side, your second question is this: the House of Assembly members and the Honorable Minister, who is our leader. See, we have a team, and it is this team that brought in Governor Fubara. You will recall that some of his commissioners resigned because he was deviating from the collective goal of that group. As I speak with you now, Governor Fubara is hobnobbing with those who voted against him. I don't know the rationale behind, and sometimes we look at first this attitude or this thing I want to do. How rational is it? And how moral is it? These are people who never wanted him, who made all manner of statements. I do not want to go into what I condemn as using wrong languages. But I am telling you that the governor began to do those things that the group, that will be to the detriment of the group. And that is why the House of Assembly decided to say, no, we stand by our leader to say, this is how we want this thing to be. It is this group that brought you in. At least you try and grow the group than to dismantle the group. All
right. Mr. Ordu, talk to us about those who say that if the origin of this fight, if we go back to the issue, to the beginning of this disagreement, that the president, first of all, maybe he overstepped his boundaries, and that what he did may have defied the rule of separation of powers, where we would see that each arm of the government should have their responsibility, and that the judiciary should have been left to settle this case of defection. If the 24 members said that they were leaving the house, they were leaving their party to defect to another party, the president cannot come back and say that, okay, now we're settling it, you can now return to the party, because there's a constitutional provision for how that should be done.
When it comes to conflict resolution outside the court. So, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on, please.
Go ahead.
So, in the both parties and more of the governor beckoned on the president, taking a cue from what happened in Ondo State, where he made peace. It does not mean that everybody in Ondo State liked what the president did, but they, taking a cue from that, invited the president to come and make the same truce in Rivers State. And it baffles me why the governor will sit down and disrespect the president.
My question, Mr. Ordu, is not, I don't think you got my question. My question is the role of the president in mediating in the case in Rivers State, when these assembly members moved from one party to another party, they defected, and there's a constitutional provision for how this should be handled. Is it safe to say that the president can override the Constitution?
No, I think you are expecting an answer from me, and therefore you don't want to see my analogy.
No, I understand, because we're running out of time, so we want you to sort of hit it, because we have to wrap up the conversation.
Let me tell you, what the president did is legal. There's nothing wrong with conflict resolution outside the court, and it is a give and take thing. You do this man does that, and peace reigns. So to answer you, the president did not go out of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm sure that there are many other areas to explore regarding this, and many people will not agree with you, but I know that this matter is still being decided, and I'm sure that we'll have more updates to that. Unfortunately, we can't continue the conversation because we've run out of time. Mr. Collins,
I wish we had enough time.
Yeah, we'll have you back. We'll
certainly have you back.
Obviously, because we do know that an update will be, there'll be an update at least latest by next week, so we should be able to have you back soon.
Thank you very much for joining us.